Well, welcome back to our live show right here on CBS 6. Blondie Bumstead and her husband Dagwood Bumstead are vintage cartoon characters. Originally released in 1947, Blondie's Cookbook is back in print, and it's the inspiration behind Elizabeth Madden's recipe that she walks our Evan Armour through the process. Let's take a look, see how they do it.
We are back in our virtual kitchen, and this morning we have Elizabeth Madden with us of Mixie's Vintage, where she explores vintage recipes with a twist. Good morning, Elizabeth. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. So this blog and what you do is so fascinating to me. Sort of give our viewers an overview of what it is you do with these recipes.
So what I do is I have a big collection of vintage cookbooks, and I really just try to kind of dive into a vintage cookbook and find interesting recipes. I also try to, if there are any handwritten recipes that I tend to find quite often, I try to kind of bring them back to life, and so they're not lost in just in pages and thrown away or whatnot. So it's been an interesting journey of just digging deep into some of these books and trying to modernize them a little bit.
And you have some recipes for us today. You've got a trifecta. We're going to do a sandwich, a salad, and a soup. Tell us where these recipes are coming from.
So they are coming from a cookbook called Blondies Cookbook, and they are actually, Blondie was a comic that came about in the 1930s, and this cookbook was written in 1947, and it's a story of a couple, Blondie and Dagwood, and their children, but one of the things that stands out in this comic is Dagwood's love for sandwiches, and he would go into his kitchen and just put together this very towering sandwich, which was called the skyscraper special. And that's what we're going to be doing for you all today.
Awesome. All right. So let's jump right in and make this skyscraper sandwich.
Sounds good. So we're going to start off with buttered bread, and you just start building it from there. So we're going to add lettuce leaves to that. And from there, we're going to do chicken breast. I have chicken breast already cooked, but if you don't want such a high towering sandwich, you could definitely use sliced chicken or sliced ham, sliced turkey, whatever works for you. And the fun thing about the sandwich is that you can actually just put out the ingredients and have people build their own sandwiches. So great for picnics, great for Super Bowl, game night, whatever you want.
And everyone can sort of customize it to their taste.
Yeah, build your own, exactly. So we did the lettuce, the chicken, eggs, sliced eggs, Swiss cheese, but you can do whatever cheese you want to do. You could do cheddar cheese or whichever one you prefer. The main thing about this sandwich is really the baked beans. Apparently back in the 1920s, there was a recipe that was written to use baked beans. And so I think that became something very popular in a lot of sandwiches. And so this is the must-have in the Dagwood sandwich.
The key ingredient.
Exactly. So we're going to add that in here. And then we're going to add the smoked salmon. And you don't have to have smoked salmon. You can have anchovies, sardines. Those were the other things that were suggested, but I'm not a fan of either one, so I just stuck with the salmon. So add the salmon on, and then we're going to put in the pimento olives, and this is sliced pickled beets. You don't have to have it in there. I know some of the ingredients are not very appetizing, but tomatoes, and there are other things that could be added in. You could put Thousand Island dressing, you could do mustard, ketchup, So it really is whatever you'd like to do. I'm going to add a little bit of mustard as it falls apart.
It's a tall sandwich.
It's a tall sandwich. And then we're going to top it with a slice of pineapple, add in the lettuce, the final lettuce leaf, this top slice, and of course you have to have your toothpick with the olive, and there you go. The Dagwood sandwich.
Perfect. Pulls it all together and holds it all together, right?
All together, you can cut it in half and just serve it that way. It's perfect. So
excellent. All right, so we've got something else that we're going to make as well, right?
Exactly, yes. So the sandwich really goes well with the Waldorf salad, which is also in the book, but I also have it on my blog, mixiesvintage.com, and it's really, really easy to put this salad together, and it's very refreshing. But all you need is chopped green apples. You can have it either with skin or without the skin. I just keep the skin on. So you put that in a bowl, and then add in your celery, chopped celery, and sliced green grapes. Some people will use mayo. I'm going to use mayo. Some people will use yogurt for the dressing. It's really whatever you prefer. Just up to the person, whatever they want to do. But then you add in the mayo, toss it all together, add a squeeze of lemon juice maybe. And the traditional Waldorf salad usually will have walnuts. My daughter's allergic to walnuts, so I actually opted to use dry roasted almonds instead. And I usually like to put that in, towards the end because, or just before I serve it. That way the nuts don't become too soggy. So we have that as well. And that is actually, I don't know if you can see it, but this is the Waldorf salad.
There it is.
Yeah. And I think my favorite part of the whole meal is actually the cream of carrot soup.
I see that right there. That looks so good.
It's so good. It really is. And it's just a nice, comforting soup. And it's really easy to make. You just in a pan, melt butter, add in onions and shallots. Let it cook for a few minutes, add in your chopped carrots, which we've chopped up the carrots, but I'm not going to put it together for you today, but chop the carrots, add it in with the onions, let it cook for about 10 minutes with a little bit of salt, sugar, and water. And then you toss in breadcrumbs and the broth, either chicken broth, vegetable broth. Let it cook for about 30 minutes, puree it, and then at the end, just add a little bit of cream, and it's a beautiful, beautiful carrot soup.
It looks beautiful. Well, thank you so much for these recipes for the sandwich, the salad, and the soup. We will be sure to link to all of those from our website so that you can check out Mixie's Vintage and get all those recipes, plus a lot more on her website. Elizabeth, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.